Hey everyone, Corvus here. Welcome to this Q&A video. Not a question on the channel this time, but a question I saw on a weird forum, so the Malifaux forum. A question which I also answered there, but I thought it was such an interesting question that I'd share it to you. So basically, this guy was asking about what supplies should he use, more specifically about primers, brushes, and then paints. So I thought he mentioned something about he had $300 or $400 to spare. Which supplies should he get? So the good news is that you don't need $300 or $400 to spend on supplies to start painting. First of all, the priming. Then I always use a can to prime. And my favorite brand. I use many brands over the years. Sometimes it worked out great. Sometimes I ended up with like a grainy finish. So some brands I don't really use anymore. But the brand that I always have good results with is just the basic Citadel, so the GW primers, black or white or both. They just perform very well if you just follow a set of simple rules, on which I've also created a video. So if you click the link on the screen, then you will be taken, or check the video description down below, then you will be taken to the video about primers, where I give all the necessary information on what you will need to successfully prime your models. Be sure to check out that video. So the second part of the question was about the brushes, and he basically already answered his own question a bit there. He was talking about Winsor & Newton brushes and Rosemary & Co brushes. So if somebody, a beginner, asks me what brushes should I use, then I almost always tell them about those two brands of brushes. So first of all, the Winsor & Newton brush is the one I use, my weapon of choice when painting miniatures. I mean, this is one of the best brushes your money can buy, with the only drawback being that they're quite expensive. So if you're a real beginner, then I wouldn't really recommend these. It would be a bit of a waste of money. You can try them, of course. But why they're a waste of money is that if you're a beginner painter, then you'll probably work the brush a bit rougher, maybe put a bit too much paint on your brush. So if you're loading your brush with paint, you always have to be careful that you only put some paint on the tip of the brush, not go down to the base entirely. But if you're new, then you'll probably make this mistake quite often. And that will really affect the quality over time of the brush, so it will wear out a bit fast. So then the other option is a brush that is a bit cheaper, a bit less quality, but still a great brush. Is the Rosemary & Co Series 33. As you can see, the handle is a bit thinner, a bit shorter, but apart from that, this is the same Kolinsky sable that they use for the Winsor & Newton brush. But the only difference is that this one wears out a bit quicker, maybe. Hairs are a bit longer, and also the shaft is a bit, the handle is a bit thinner. But these are really details. If you really start painting, then you will not notice any of these differences. It's after working with this one for 5 years non-stop, and then switching to this one just to try them out, that I noticed a bit differences, and I just decided to go back to the Winsor & Newton after trying out some of these. But these aren't bad brushes. A while ago I bought some larger sizes, because if you go with the larger size Winsor & Newton, it's going to become really expensive. So the larger sized Rosemary & Co, for example, to do some base coating, that's maybe a good idea if you want to invest in a good #1 Winsor & Newton Series 7 and then some larger sized Rosemary & Co. But anyway, if you're going to spend a bit more money on brushes, then you will really need a brush cleaner, so brush soap. This is one of the better known brands. Some people, they swear by this. They say it's magic soap, but before this one I had another brand of brush soap which was a lot cheaper, and it did the job quite also pretty well. So most stores, they have this pretty okay, but if you find cheaper brands, then that's also okay. So final part of the question is about paints. My advice is, yeah, just try to find a paint you're comfortable with. Try out some brands. You can never go wrong with the Vallejo model color, which is stuff I use most of the time. So these dropper bottles. But what's characteristic about this paint line is that it's all really earth colors, so not really that much bright flashy paints in them. So for like the reds and the yellows, I always go back to the Citadel paints. Now if you buy them in the store, you will not buy them in these dropper bottles, so I basically transferred the paints to these dropper bottles. I also have a video on the process, which you can see on the screen now. If you buy them, they will be in a pot like this one, in a small jar like this one, and I transferred them. So GW paints also very nice, maybe easier for you to buy depending on where you live. I think, and also the metallics, I like the GW metallics more than the Vallejo metallics. Also the washes, this is a wash by the way, Citadel washes, I think they perform very well. And you don't need hundreds of paints, you don't need the entire paint line. Just look at what kind of miniatures you will be painting to get started. If you're doing an army of blue armored guys, then yeah, all you need is 1 or 2 tones of blue, then a contrasting color like a yellow or an orange to throw in there, and then yeah, the usual stuff, some grays, some whites. Just have a look at the painted version of the miniature, what kind of details on there, but you don't need every kind of paint there is in a line to paint well. So that's all for this Q&A video. I hope this was useful for you, that it will help you to become a better painter and enjoy painting more and get those miniatures painted, put them on the table before gaming. If you're new here, please press the subscribe button, which is on the screen, and otherwise I hope you press the like button and have some time to put a comment or get in touch, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.